All right, Shalawam. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH Bahasham YAHAWASHI Bahasham RAWCHAA QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone who taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalawam, and Lord will, this video is edifying. Okay, in this lesson, all right, it's going into the charagma. All right, the M-I-C-R-O-C-H-I-P, that these devils, all right, these Edomites, the so-called white man, is going to want inside you. And that's going to be the way of purchasing, the way of making payments, the way of buying and selling. Okay, through this grain of rice, through this CHIP that they're going to want inside you, man. Okay, now I have two articles. All right, I have precepts, and Lord will, this video is edifying. I'm going to start here in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9. And it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently. Read it again. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And how do you measure the time diligently in itself? You see what's taking place in the earth, you know, what's happening in the earth, in the world, and you filter it, all right, through the scriptures, man. All right, and that's how you measure the time diligently in itself. Now I have these articles, okay. Now this is core pay, all right, core pay. And this says, all right, cashless countries, okay, future cashless countries. It has Sweden, Finland, China, South Korea, United Kingdom, Australia, Netherlands, Canada. It says there are currently no cashless countries. This being said, there's a growing number of countries seeking to go cashless in the coming years. Let's take a look below at some of the countries that are closest to going cashless. Sweden, which we know in Sweden, man. All right, Sweden. Let's get this article before I keep on reading. All right, this is the article going into Sweden. It says in Sweden, technology is close to making cash a thing of the past. All aboard with the cashless society, and that's the point. All right, that's the point. Okay, you see these articles going into cashless societies. Cash, all right, cash no longer king. Cash becoming obsolete. These articles going into CBDC, central bank digital currencies, you know, all right. Basically, these devils are going to bring in a cashless society where your purchases, your payments, your buying and selling is going to be done cashlessly through this grain of rice that they're going to want inside you. And that is the charagma, the MOTB, the MICROCHIP. All right, and that's what this lesson is going into. All right, but we see that this world is basically is getting ready, you know, for the MOTB. Okay, so it says Sweden has been at the forefront of banking innovation for a long time. The country's first automatic cash machine was inaugurated in July 1967, only a week after the world's very first one was opened in London, and the development and simplification of payments has evolved greatly ever since. Now Sweden is leading the way towards the cashless society. Okay, all right, and basically these devils are conditioning the people for a cashless society, you know, with what? The digital payments, the contactless payments, you know, the Apple Pay, the Google Pay, the Samsung Pay, so on and so forth. People are becoming accustomed, people are becoming used to using less cash. All right, people paying through their phone, people paying all right online, people paying, you know, with their watches, you know, their smart watches, you know, so on and so forth. All right, people are becoming accustomed to using less cash. All right, Esau does things in gradualism and conditioning. All right, and what comes to mind is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, where the scriptures say, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And a part of Esau's devices are gradualism and conditioning, man. Okay, so now it says, let me get straight to the point. All right, get straight to the point, because speaking about this cashless society, let's see what pops up. It says handy payments. Literally, to some people, the cashless experience is more than skin deep. They've got you see the word, MICROCHIP, all right, in their hand, which can store different kinds of data, from ID to door opening blips, train tickets, and even bank cards. This makes it possible to pay by simply waving the hand. All right, now let's go to the precept. All right. The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16, and it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a marcus in their right hand or in their foreheads. And when you go into this word marcus in the Greek word is charagma, which go into a scratch, etching thing, carved, sculptured, graven. You know, because basically these devils, they're gonna have to basically cut into your flesh, all right, to give you this this CHIP. You know, and even when you go deeper, the root it goes into it goes to the word carax, okay, and the word carax, it goes into a pale, a stake, or a palisade. You know, and when you search up a wooden stake, that's basically a sharp pointed object, all right, which is likened unto the tool that they use to give people, all right, this CHIP. You know, when you look at these videos, you know, you look at these videos of these people receiving, all right, the CHIP, they use this, all right, this, I don't want to say the word, but you brothers get the point. They use that tool to put it into your body, okay? But it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a marcus in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, all right, might buy or sell, save he that had the marcus or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You will not be able to buy and sell without this marcus, without this CHIP, without this charagma. And this is what's coming, you know. And this is why we see these articles going into what? Cashless societies. These articles going into CBDCs, cryptocurrencies, and blockchain, and so on and so forth, man. They're getting, all right, the world ready for the MOTB, okay? All right? So, okay? So going back to this article, let's go back here, because I read 2nd Ezra 9:1 when the scriptures say, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And how do you measure the time diligently in itself? You see what's taking place in the earth, you know, in the world, and you filter it, all right, through the scriptures, okay? So it says Sweden, Finland, China, South Korea, United Kingdom, Australia, Netherlands, Canada. It says with a date set in 2023 to go completely cashless, Sweden is arguably the closest country to achieve this. It is currently not uncommon to see signs that say no cash accepted in various shops in Sweden. They're getting the world ready for the MOTB, man. You see, we see, all right, we see these articles, all right, about these things that's taking place in these other countries, you know. But what does all this lead to? Revelation 13, verse 16, you know. So it says, I got that. Let's go to Finland. Finland has a smaller population of around 5.5 million. This being said, cash in Finland is becoming irrelevant through rural and urban areas. All right? Cash becoming obsolete. Cash no longer king. Cash becoming irrelevant. Cashless society. Okay? China. While China is a bit behind both Finland and Sweden, the growth in electronic payments is far more significant, given its massive population size. And if I'm not mistaken, I said that, you know, not too long ago. People becoming conditioned, you know, and accustomed to using less cash through what these electronic, you know, contactless and mobile payments, man. You know, but all right, that gradualism and conditioning. Let's go to South Korea. South Korea is currently more cashless than China. However, there are far fewer people. More and more South Koreans are starting to rely on credit cards and various digital payment tools. South Korea already has most of the infrastructure in place nationwide to go cashless. You see? All right, United Kingdom. The UK has embraced technology, including the digitization of money. London specifically has done so the most so far, and continues down this path. Australia is a bit behind the other countries mentioned in this list. However, it is definitely worth the mention. We are currently seeing Australia start to digitize most of its economy. It is predicted that most individuals in Australia will own a smartphone by 2020. So I'm pretty sure this is a older article, okay, because it says 2020 and we know we're in 2022. But the point of it still stands. All right, we see these things, all right, that's taking place in the earth that's leading to the MOTB, man. All right, we see these things that these devils, you know, are doing. All right, the agendas they're pushing, you know, man and half man, half robot, you know, AI technology and this and that, you know, transhumanism. We see these things that these devils are pushing, and we know that the MOTB, all right, is on its way. All right. So so let me see what else this article got. Netherlands. The Netherlands is one of the leaders in Europe when it comes to electronic transactions. A striking statistic is that 99% of the population currently owns a debit card. Okay. Canada, while Canada is nowhere near going cashless, they have some very interesting statistics regarding electronic transactions. Will the U.S. become a cashless country? Okay. So, man, all right? We see these articles going into cashless societies, all right? CBDCs, you know, cryptocurrencies, and, you know, just, all right? These articles going into basically, doing away with cash, all right? But what's going to replace it? That, all right, the CHIP, man, okay? The MICROCHIP, the Karagma, the MOTB, the grain of rice. That's going to be your way of purchasing, your way of making payments. All right. Okay. So all right. So now, and without it, it's going to be hard to move, you know, in this devil's, you know, in this devil's society. Okay. So now, let's, I want to go to the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 16. All right. I started bringing this out, you know, more lately. All right. Going into the MOTB, okay, because another thing that's coming is famine. And when you get the definition of famine is the extreme scarcity of food, all right? The extreme scarcity of food, all right? The extreme lack, the extreme shortage of food. That's basically what famine is, all right? And what are the effects of famine? Hunger and starvation, man, all right? The very extreme short supply of food, the very extreme, shortage, the very extreme, you know, lack of food will lead to hunger and starvation, okay? And this is what's coming. Famine is coming, okay? Now, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 22, and it's going to lead back to the MOTB, all right, which is what this lesson is going into. It said, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. And I went into the definition of famine, the extreme scarcity of food, okay? And the effects of famine is hunger and starvation. Now I want to go to the book of Lamentation, chapter 4, verse 9, which I have out. And it says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away stricken through for the wants of the fruits of the field. The scriptures say that it is better to be slain by the sword than to be slain of hunger, man. You see? Now, you have the you know, you may have a, you know, you could say an actual sword. You know, you get your head cut off, right? It's better to die that way than to die from hunger. You know, you have the modern day sword, which is the gun. You know, you take bullets to the dome. You know, it's better to die that way than to be slain of hunger, man. You know? All right? Hey, hunger, it's a terrible way to go out. All right, I'm gonna read it again. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. Now from there, let's go back to the book of 2nd Ezra, just showing you how terrible it is to die from hunger, man. You know, okay, going through starvation. All right, okay, and those are the effects of famine, and famine is coming. And the scriptures say, for what? For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, man. Okay, it says, and the other that escape the hunger. Now, what's going to be a way that people are going to try to escape the hunger? All right, what's going to be a way, okay, that people are going to try to escape starvation? All right, guess what? By receiving that MOTB, by receiving that Karagma, by receiving that CHIP, man. Okay, that's going to be a way that people are going to try to escape, you know, the hunger, that people are going to try to escape the starvation. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Slakia, if I'm not mistaken, it's elder required quam, all right? And if he's not an elder, Slakia, okay? But if I'm not mistaken, he put up a post, you know, or a short on, all right, on his YouTube, and it was going into, you know, rations, if I'm not mistaken, you know, and basically these devils, all right, because we know these devils, they're all right, they're basically, they're devils, okay? But the point is that you know, when famine is coming, people down bad, you know, people trying to escape the hunger. Hunger is a terrible way to go out. That these devils, they, you know, they may come in, you know, they're gonna say they got the water, you know, they got the food, they got the supplies, you know, so on and so forth. All right, in order for people to get access to the food, in order for people to get access to the supplies and the water, you know, the shelter or whatever, you know, they're gonna have to receive this grain of rice, you know, and basically hunger, starvation is gonna drive people to take the MOTB. That's all right. Even when you read the book of not second Ezra, but the book of Isaiah, all right, Isaiah chapter 36 verse 6. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 36 verse 6. It says, "Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt." And we know that America, which is Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, you read Revelation 11 and 8, the scriptures say the great city which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. America is spiritual Egypt and spiritual Sodom. All right. And this spiritual Egypt, America, is ruled by what nation of people? The Edomites, which are you so-called white people, man. All right. It says, "Whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him," man. You see, and you're gonna have these Israelites that's gonna trust in Esau, the so-called white man, that's gonna trust in Egypt, you know, all right, and they're gonna go and take the MOTB, but it's gonna lead to their destruction, you know. And this is why the scripture said, and also in the book of Isaiah, "Woe," which means destruction, unto them that go down to Egypt for help, you know, because we're supposed to go to our God, our power, YAHAWAH Bahasham YAHAWASHI, for help, you know, for protection, for, you know, for deliverance. You know, the scriptures speak about cursed is the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his armor, whose heart departed from the Lord, YAHAWAH Bahasham YAHAWASHI. You know, it's better to trust in YAHAWAH Bahasham YAHAWASHI than to trust in man. But see, you're going to have these Israelites that's going to trust in Esau, Edom, which is the so-called white man that's going to trust in Egypt, you know, and they're going to run and go get the MOTB. But it's going to lead to their destruction, okay? And a precept that comes to mind, all right, because the scripture say, what? "Lo, thou trusteth in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt." When you read the book of Isaiah chapter 10 and 20, the scripture say how, let's go get it, all right? Because you're going to have some Israelites that's going to trust in Esau, all right? That's going to trust in Egypt, but you're going to have the remnant, the elect, all right? And they're the ones that trust in the Lord, okay? This is the book of Isaiah chapter 10 verse 20. And it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel," all right, the elect, okay, "and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay," all right. And when you go into the word "stay" in the Hebrew word is sha'an, which goes into to lean, to depend on, to trust in. You see, that's what it goes into. You see, so it says, "shall no more again stay upon him that smote them." You know, they're not going to lean upon, they're not going to trust in the enemy, man. You know, they're going to, but what? It says, "but shall stay upon the Lord, YAHAWAH Bahasham YAHAWASHI, the Holy One of Israel in truth," man. All right. This is why the scripture is saying what? In the book of Isaiah, the 65th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, "My servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. My servant